Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life. Now, in this episode, I would like to discuss anxiety, and I'm going to delve deeper into that in a few weeks, that disorder. And you can also watch Acupuncture is My Life on Roku TV, Apple TV, as well as Amazon Fire. And if you have any of those streaming services, you could just search for Acupuncture is My Life. We'll be discussing over the next 6 months various psychological disorders, as well as Eastern nutrition episodes and how food can treat various diseases. With Chef Kiara, she's back. And many of you have been waiting for Chef Kiara to return and get deep into Eastern nutrition. I think her first episode is foods for high blood pressure. Yeah. And she makes an awesome, I think it's a salad or something. She makes an awesome meal for those with high blood pressure, and it's pretty cool. So you can watch Acupuncture is My Life on Roku TV or Apple TV or Amazon Fire under Acupuncture is My Life. But I'm just going to touch on anxiety here, but get a little deeper into it in the coming weeks, because anxiety is a disorder that many individuals globally are suffering from. But this episode speaks on the fact that anxiety affects more than just your mind. There are physical symptoms of anxiety. But basically, anxiety is more or less a term that represents various feelings such as fear, worry, stress, to name a few. And anxiety can really, as a disorder, disrupt your life. And many individuals are experiencing a great deal of disruption in their lives due to anxiety. Let's say just even having a generalized anxiety disorder occurs like when you experience a disproportionate amount of fear relative to various circumstances or even events. Another form of anxiety can be social anxiety disorder, which occurs when, let's say, as a result of like socially interacting and there's a huge potential for being embarrassed or being judged for your actions. So what does it trigger? It triggers you to worry. And then there's like the extreme form of anxiety where you experience panic attacks. Now, panic attacks I'll discuss as an aspect of anxiety in the next episode, because that is like really serious. But anxiety can present in your body in a multitude of ways, ranging from your head to your toes. Anxiety is really, it's a disorder that, one, I'll say this. If you're experiencing anxiety as a disorder, and especially if you've been diagnosed with it, see an acupuncturist right away. Acupuncture is great for treating anxiety as a disorder. See an acupuncturist right away. Because in dealing with this disorder, just every organ system in your body can be affected, just as a result of your body releasing too much in the way of stress hormones. You know, there are certain physical symptoms you can look for, let's say your heart is just like, feels like it's racing, which is a classic sign of anxiety disorder. Because when you're dealing with something that can be stressful to you, your adrenal glands tend to kick out adrenaline, which is also called epinephrine. And the receptors of your heart tend to react to the release of adrenaline, causing your heart to beat much faster. Now, you can also experience shortness of breath. Because when you begin breathing too quickly because your heart is beating super fast to provide more oxygen to the tissues in your body, you can possibly hyperventilate and present as being short of breath. Why? Because the gas exchange, the gases in your body, those being oxygen and carbon dioxide, fall out of balance. And it'll appear as if you're short of breath. Another way anxiety affects the body is like you're feeling exhausted all the time. This is a common sign of anxiety. Because the stress hormones that's being released, keeping you like in high gear, can be very draining. It can be very draining. And you'll find yourself feeling exhausted a lot. And you'll notice that your sleep patterns are like messed up. Just really thrown out of whack, because as a result, anxiety can cause you to experience difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, or you can even have like a restless sleep, and as symptoms, these symptoms, acupuncture treats, but the focus for an acupuncturist would be to treat the anxiety disorder to clear up these symptoms. That's the great thing about seeing an acupuncturist for regular wellness visits. Another way in which anxiety affects the body is muscle aches. Because you're tensed, constantly tensed as a stress response. And this constant sense of rigidity for an extended period of time tends to lead to pain, muscle pain. Another way anxiety affects the body is your gastrointestinal system. Why? Because it disrupts the gut-brain axis. And the gut-brain axis is basically a communication system between your brain and your enteric nervous system, which is what governs your digestion. So you'll experience constipation, diarrhea, stomach pain. Yeah, this is just another way anxiety affects the body. It can present with physical symptoms. Another common side effect of anxiety disorders is sweating. Yes. Lots of sweating. And even like shakiness, trembling, which is a byproduct of anxiety-induced hormone surges. Again, acupuncture treats these as separate and isolated symptoms, but as an acupuncturist, we look to get to the root of your problem. We look to find out what's causing the symptoms. You see your physician on an annual basis, even in some cases semi-annual, and you're undergoing regular wellness visits. That could be once a week, once a month, once every season. That's determined between both yourself and your acupuncturist. And these are symptoms, these are issues, there's plenty of health issues you don't have to worry about for the most part. Why? Because health is wealth. The wealth isn't in the bank. It's not in the safe. It's not in your pocket. It's not under the mattress. It's not in the shoebox, in the closet. It's not in your purse. It's not under the doghouse in the backyard. The wealth is in you. But another way anxiety disorder can affect you is anticipating the unknown. Leads you to be easily startled. It's another feature of anxiety. Someone ever walk up on you and just say your name and boom, you jump. Or something across the room falls on the floor, you jump. A door slams unexpectedly. Someone leaves the room and you have your back turned to them and you jump. You're easily startled by the slightest things. That's another common feature of anxiety. Also, do you have a tight feeling in your throat? Like something is stuck in there or it's really hard for you to swallow? Anxiety can cause this. As well as you can find yourself getting sick a lot, especially catching colds. Why? Because anxiety, your immune system cannot properly function when you're always or constantly stressed and over concerned or worried. It negatively impacts your immune system, mitigating your body's ability to defend and protect itself. In acupuncture, your Wei Qi becomes deficient. And I speak about these things in many episodes. I have conversations about Wei Qi with various people on the Acupuncture is My Life app through chat sessions. And if you don't already have it, download the Acupuncture is My Life app. It's free at the Apple Store for iPhone users and the Google Play Store for Android users. But in my next episode, I plan to discuss when physical symptoms of anxiety trigger a panic attack. So between now and my next episode, do me a favor and make acupuncture a part of your life. Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?